All right, we're live. I'm Joshua Kemble, and this is my live stream where I work on comics. Um, Full disclosure, I might be popping in and out of the live stream because it's just me and Ben's kind of playing. His mom's going to get home soon. But there's probably going to be dogs barking, Ben talking, all sorts of stuff. But I need to do comics and I need to work on comics, so we're going to try to make this work. And I'm really excited about showing you guys where I'm at. So we'll go to our regular stream right here.
Let's open this.
And right here, we're going to, if you need help opening something, Ben, I can help. Come here. What did you need?
Thanks for that, Dad.
Oh, that's okay, bud. Hang on a second. Sorry, I'm opening a deck of cards for my boy here. And then we'll get to streaming. Dad life.
I also need help opening this too.
Yeah, I understand. We're just gonna see if we can get it to open. Hold on. Hold still. Okay. We're opening a deck of cards, and then I'll get into the fun stuff. Here's your cards, bud.
Thanks.
And then you need these other cards too. They make these packages for these game boards like quite insane. And my son's trying to open like a Tetris game board kind of thing. And he needs to have access to the cards. So I am interrupting my stream to do this, which is fine. That's kind of what you got to do. Okay, hold on a second, folks. And we have Benjamin having his cards. Here you go, bud. Thank you. Okay, now go play. Ben, go play, remember? Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to show you guys where we're at so far on the comic. And if you guys are curious what comic, so I'm working on this comic called Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And off stream, I've finished 2 pages. So the pages that I've finished so far are page 49, which is the aftermath. I'll kind of pull this open so you guys can see it. So this is the Not Death But Love, The Strange Supernatural Story of Elizabeth Barrett Browning. And we just got through some of the fun supernatural stuff. Let me pull this over to the side too so that it's okay. So as usual, like what I'm working on is going to be over here. The section of the script that I'm going to be working on roughing is down here. But we just got through a really big part in the plot, which was Elizabeth Barrett Browning has ooh, my goodness. Just dropping things all over the place. Elizabeth Barrett Browning has just gotten back from like a spiritualist where there's like a, man, I'm just all over the place today. There's a light that fell. Okay. Elizabeth Barrett Browning just got back from a spiritualist who was doing a seance. And the seance had this like glowing white hand grabbed like a wreath of flowers and crowned Elizabeth with the wreath. The spirit that we were introduced to Daniel Douglas Home, and he is the spiritualist who crowned her with a wreath. So we have that basically having happened on the previous page to 49. Page 49, her and Robert are talking about the experience with the spiritualist. Robert is expressing a bunch of skepticism about it. And then Elizabeth is teasing him a bit, but you also get the sense that Elizabeth kind of buys into this spiritualism a little bit. So they're on their ride. And here they are in their handsome cab having this conversation. This is page 50, where she's saying, I believe he is a shy man considering how much he is in demand. Do you fault him? Then Robert is saying, he could not identify the spirit who plays the wreath upon your head. And then Elizabeth is saying, communing with spirits cannot be an exact science. And then Elizabeth is then saying, I was relieved no spirit of mine was present. I thought for a moment it might have been. And then Robert, somewhat angrily, says, the man preys upon the grief of innocent people. And Elizabeth says, is it so wrong to give them hope? And then Robert says, is a false hope better than no hope at all? And that's where we've kind of left off. And now we're going to get into roughing out page 50 if all goes well with the chaos that is trying to work at my house. So anyhow, if you're just tuning in, this is the fun part of the stream. It's I usually can't have like a lot of frequent guests or anything hopping in while I'm doing this process, because it's really just breaking down the script. So the next section of script says, the next morning, Elizabeth lounges in bed, flush curled beside her. And I've made my notes here. So breaking down the panels that I need. Number 1 is going to be Elizabeth Barrett Browning in bed with Flush. Robert is going to be at the foot of the bed. So fully dressed, Robert stands at the foot of the bed smiling. Okay, so that's one panel. From the pocket of his coat, he pulls a small book that's 2 panels. Robert, I went round to Maud's library, and what do you think was the gossip of the day? Elizabeth, I can scarcely imagine. Robert, they were talking of your coronation last night at the Spirit's hand. Did you know who they say placed the wreath upon your hallowed brow? Elizabeth, I haven't the faintest idea. Robert hands her the book, a copy of the Inferno, Dante's Inferno. Elizabeth puts a hand over her mouth. Dante, ha 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 ha. Amused, Robert collapses onto the bed beside her, leaning on one elbow and looking at her fondly. So I've got that section of script broken down into a bunch of actions that I then have to illustrate. So number 1 is Elizabeth Barrett Browning in bed with Flush. Robert's at the foot of the bed. Number 2 is going to be Robert pulling a book out of his pocket. Number 3 is going to be dialogue. Number 4 is going to be a close-up of Dante's Inferno, which I did a little bit of research and wound up finding the book cover that's good. We're probably going to have to research a little bit about a Victorian bedroom, because this specific location doesn't have an interior that we can access. So we kind of have to just invent a generic bedroom for like the flat they're staying at while they're in London. So then Elizabeth's got her hand over her mouth. That's number 5. And then number 6 is going to be Robert collapsing on the bed. So first, let's do a real quick thumbnail. I had like some boxes written up there, but thumbnail will really help just to kind of pin this down exactly. What exactly are we thinking here? So number 1 is going to be, and I'm going to make, so I have my list here. I'm going to make a new layer that's called thumbnail, and then we'll get into it. So, okay, so here's the thumbnail. And by the way, if you're tuning in, I hope you guys are having a really productive night and are able to really do creative stuff and get a lot of progress going on your own work. And if you are tuning in, let me know what you're working on. Okay, so Elizabeth is in bed with Flush. Robert's at the foot of the bed. So we're going to need Elizabeth to be in the bed with Flush. So I almost think like Robert's at the foot of the bed. I think if Robert's here and Elizabeth's here in bed with Flush here. So it'll be something like that. Okay, Robert pulls. This is going to be him saying quite a bit, actually. So a lot of text. Let's see. So then he pulls out a copy of Dante's Inferno. I don't know if I like that view. I'm almost thinking like we need him to be here with his hand in his jacket pocket. And then we might have Elizabeth laying here. In bed with Flush. Flush the dog here. I like this a little bit more. We'll have to look up like a Victorian bedroom. But I kind of like this more for an establishing shot. And there is so much dialogue in this scene that I think having that arrangement is going to be really good because we can have... So let's go ahead and ditch the first part of the thumbnail. Because now we can have him saying, I went to Maud's library. So here he's going to be saying all of that. Here she's going to be saying, I can scarcely imagine. And then here he's going to be saying quite a bit more. Okay. That should be enough. Okay, so that's going to be like a very wide first panel. Then the next one's going to be... Okay, Robert's going to pull a copy of... Oh, there's even more dialogue. So this is going to have to be even taller. And then this is going to be Robert kind of reaching into his pocket. You see here. All right. So I think he's going to be pulling the copy of his book out of his pocket here. Okay. And then we're going to have, this is just a thumbnail. And then we're going to go into roughs, and roughs are like where this is going to be much more worked out. So close. So the dialogue. This is going to be him handing her a copy of the Inferno. Here we go. Okay, actually here she'll be saying, I haven't the faintest idea. Here he's going to be handing her the copy of the Inferno. Flush will be here. Okay. Now we've got close up of this is going to be her holding Dante's Inferno. With her face in the foreground. And this will be her saying like, Dante, oh. Haha. Okay. So I'm kind of liking this layout, this very, very loose like thumbnail. But I'm thinking about like how we can fit it all. So I'm almost thinking like this might do well here. This might do well next to it here. This might need to be a wider shot, like maybe it's taller so that we can really see. Here. And then here we're going to have the Robert collapsing into the bed. So this can be like her kind of sitting here. Nice. Nice long Eve. Gary Hodges, the brilliant cartoonist, behind Dinosaurs versus Mars Bots or Devious versus M. Welcome, Gary. I hope you're having a good night. I'm trying to thumbnail out some stuff. So then she's going to be here. Flush will be here. And Robert is going to hop down to it. So he's going to hop on the bed, kind of staring at her, and she's going to be smiling. Okay, we have a rough. Well, not a rough, but a thumbnail. Can't send that to my publisher. They're not going to know what that is. Okay, so we got our thumbnail. Lovely. Okay, so now I know what my borders need to look like. So I'm going to use my little rough borders template. I've talked about this before. I usually keep the borders from previous roughs. We're going to go ahead and view extras. And full disclosure, when my wife comes back home, she's feeding my my mom's dog, and because my mom and sister are out, and so she'll be coming back, and you're going to hear dogs just barking up a storm when they return. Should be a lot of fun. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so this is going to be a wider panel. And again, these are just roughs, but this is like extremely helpful to have for the final. So I want this to be a nice wide and tall shot. So I'm almost thinking like that might be the right height. Something around there. And from that, like, by the way, on the roughs, after this, what I'll do is like use Adobe Illustrator to come up with tighter panel borders, as well as put in word balloons and all of that stuff like on the final. But it helps a lot to have a rough to kind of work that from. Okay. So now I like the idea of these being just a little bit slimmer. I want this to go over just a little bit. In fact, both of these are going to go over just a little bit. So that's a little bit better for both of these. Okay. We're just coming up with those panel borders. And we might have to do a little bit of a Google search for a Victorian bedroom, like a generic Victorian bedroom. Fun times, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to turn off my thumbnail real quick. Yep, that looks about right. I do have to fix some border stuff too. Okay, so like these little spots. Again, it's a rough, so they don't need to be perfect, but at least they can be close, right? Okay, thumbnail. Save it, and let's look up Victorian bedrooms. Vic. Honestly, this can be pretty generic. Whew. My internet connection is really laggy, though. I hope this isn't affecting the stream. Let me know if my audio is cutting out at all. I think just a Victorian bed is kind of all I need to see. And I like this one. So I think we might have found it very quickly. Oh, maybe. Cool. I'm going to hopefully have that work. I thought I had this working. Okay. There it is. I think that'll do. because this is a very generic room. It's a generic bed. This location, we don't actually know much about the interiors on, so that's fine. I just want like a nice Victorian bed. So that'll do for our bed. I'm just going to call this layer bed. And we'll kind of work from there. Okay. Now, I want to see my thumbnail. And I think from there we'll be good to start just a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna have, oh my gosh, let me save since things are acting all kind of weird. I don't know if you guys are getting lags. Let me know. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna have Robert here. Robert is gonna be here, and he's going to be looking down a little bit. His neck is going to be, we don't need too much structural line stuff since this is just a rough. But I do want him kind of reaching in his coat pocket. This will be a good reminder. Somebody said, I saw that bed at IKEA. Nice. This will be a very generic bed. But that's cool. This is where I am taking liberties. Okay. So Robert is going to be here. Going to have him looking down. He's going to be talking. And Robert has his kind of neck beard thing, so we're going to have that included. And here, we're going to draw this character. Robert's supposed to be fully clothed. I think we'll have Elizabeth in her nightgown. Which I believe is, we still have reference of. Yes, we do. Robert's going to be wearing his outing gear. He has a pretty generic costume throughout. And it's mostly because most of the older images of Robert have him wearing this kind of same three-piece suit. Okay, so he's reaching in there in his pocket. And we're going to have this hand kind of holding open. Man, I am drawing real tight. I'm noticing that. Generally, when you're doing roughs, it's nice to stay real loose. So I think I'll have to work on that just a little bit. Get a little loosened up tonight. But we are not going to end this stream until these are completed. That is my goal here. GZ Draw Forever is dead on, though. I think maybe that is an IKEA bed. But hey, you know what? I try to be historically accurate, but there are some areas where I can be a little freer. So let's just hypothetically suppose if this was a period movie, we were subbing in a bed that could work. Okay. I do want to keep Elizabeth's nightgown in view, but not particularly anywhere super special. Okay. Where were we drawing? That's a really good question. Was I drawing on the thumbnail layer? How dare I draw that on the thumbnail layer? Okay, this is going to be called our rough layer. Okay, so we have Robert here. He's going to be saying, I went round to Maudie's library, and what do you think was the gossip of the day? Okay, cool. Elizabeth's going to be here. How far up do I have her head? I think I have her head like here. So she's going to be kind of propped up against the bed. Legs kind of chilling. Then there's going to be a dog here. I like the idea of the dog's head being turned towards him. Okay. So Elizabeth is going to be here. With her crazy hair. We're just doing roughs right now. We don't need it to be perfect. Okay. And she has her nightgown on because that just makes sense if she's in bed. We've seen her nightgown before, but it doesn't hurt for us to have it back. And I'm going to have this. This is going to be the bed, the little post things. Frank just said they were talking about me on Adam's stream. Nice. Hopefully you guys were saying nice things. How's everything going, Frank? Frank Salazar of Salazar Art Nation. Okay. And then we're going to have, Frank was saying, wondering where I've been. I have been just working on comics and working on pages 49 and 50. And I got in this kind of zone where, my goodness, I don't know why this is going so slow. I got in this zone where I was kind of enjoying just like listening to streams and stuff like that. I actually listened to a little bit of you and Adam like about an hour or so ago. I like what Adam was drawing with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle and stuff. It's pretty awesome. Okay, we got our dog here. Oh man, and that delay is not gonna work too well. We have this mass delay between when something is. So Flush is like a Cocker Spaniel. So Flush is going to be kind of chilling here. My goodness. The lag is hard to tolerate here. I think that I might want her under the blankets. Because who's going to lay on top of blankets? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So we're going to have this kind of established. It's a very short bed. I think it needs to be a little longer. Maybe even in front of Robert a little bit. Not a tangent, though. So if it's going to go in front of Robert, it needs to go further in front. There we go. Okay. We're going to have like some pillows here, just chilling. Some pillows here. Okay, so now we've got our rough kind of blocked in. Frank said, I did some Inktober style sketches for Turoktober. I was turning the first 3 into pages. Nice. Nice to know, sir. Nice to know. Let me see. While my computer's being all weird. Man. Okay. My memory on my computer is not a happy beast. All right. Let's get into this. So I want to shade this just a little bit, just to add a little more depth to it. So like when it comes to setting up lighting and the final pages, I have a pretty good idea of where I'm going. I think Elizabeth will be sort of backlit a little bit. And then let's just make it nice and simple. Like maybe there's, you know what? I don't even think we need a window. This is just a room. Kind of a spare room that they're staying in. All right, cool. Okay, I went round to, now's the fun part. I'm gonna have it saying, okay. I went round to mod library. And what do you think was the gossip of the day? And what do you think was the gossip of the day? Okay, this is already really helpful because that's a tight squeeze. So I think that the text is going to need to come over just a little bit. Okay. Okay. I think that's better. Okay. So there we go. We've got that kind of worked out. And then she's going to be saying, okay. Oh, I need to merge that down. Let's save because my computer's being kind of weird. She's going to say, I can scarcely imagine. She's going to say it like that. That'll be her saying that. Can scarcely imagine. Now we've got Robert saying, he's going to be saying, they were talking. They we're talking of, oh my goodness, of your coronation last, oh my gosh, this lag is gonna kill me, dude. Last night, it's just every once in a while the memory on my computer just starts crapping out, and like, so there's like a slight delay between when I draw and when it appears on the screen. It's maddening when this happens, but we'll get through it. Last night, okay, at the Spirit hand, do you know who they say placed? Okay, I'm already seeing a problem here. We're going to need to do a little bit of cheating here. Not really cheating, just using Photoshop for what it's good at. For a rough especially. This is going to need to be much smaller. Sincerely smaller. Okay. And I think we're going to have to do this a little bit further away. I know. This is exciting, rough, and tumble creation, but this is the way. Okay. This is going to be slightly smaller. Placed the wreath you know what else we're going to need to do? I think we're going to need to modify our composition just slightly. We have a little bit of wiggle room on our rough, because this is why like roughs are so great, because again, like this probably needs to be cut off a little bit lower. Maybe we just need to cut her off quite a substantial bit lower. Wreath upon. Frank said, I'm going to have a late dinner and do some sketching. I might be in and out. Awesome. Upon your hallowed brow. There we go. Voila. This is a rough, so that's just going to have to do. And now I'm glad that I was just like thinking, you know what, let's just make this like an open space because that's going to make a lot more sense for a thumbnail. It's going to have that side lighting. Perhaps this might get darker here as it gets closer. Sort of. Whew. Okay. We got one panel thumbnailed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a trailer for my book Jacob's Apartment up, but real quick we're going to move this bed down. I thought if my computer doesn't just crash right now. I can't believe that. That's not a hard move to make, man. Just not having luck with my memory tonight. Okay. Saving. I'm going to put on a trailer for Jacob's Apartment, and then we'll get into our second thumbnail rough. So let me go ahead and put that up there. And here it is.
Speak clearly, it seems that only in dreams can we these things we've seen and walk around breathing things. I don't know the part to play in this heart of mine. There's dissonant things, they split at the seams.
There's another reference I need to pull that I found earlier if my computer can handle it right now. And that is, let's see, I found a really cool image of the book that I think will be used in this sequence. Nope. Let's see. Do we save it? I gotta see if I maybe put it on my desktop or something. I thought I had looked up Dante's Inferno and found like a really great reference of the book. Now I'm unable to find it. That is really a shame, unless I already put them on here. Okay, so I might have to look that up again. That's a shame. Okay. We're going to try, see if this doesn't kill my stream. Okay. That's what we wanted. Okay. There it is. I think I found the really rad kind of old school version. So it's likely that this was the edition that would have been around then. So we'll go ahead and use this too, just for when we zoom in. Okay, that's going to be helpful. We're not really needing this reference yet, but I figure we might as well get all our references in there. Okay, old school copy of Dante's Inferno. Okay, everybody still there? Gary said, I'm going to duck out to do top 5 movie villains. Oh, dude. Okay, well, I'm going to have to watch that after I get done with this business. All right, so although top 5 movie villains sounds fun, so I will tell you guys, check out Gary Hodges' stream. He and Jim do a top 5 show that's really awesome. Okay, this is going to be the dude pulling out his copy of Dante's Inferno. So this is going to be, he's reached in. Now this will be similar shot. This time he's he has pulled out the copy of the book. His hand's still here. And we've got it. Okay. Okay, still got his neck beard thing. I think for this to make sense too, I might actually put her in the foreground here. This will be his hands. He has got his hand open still. His jacket's still kind of open. This is going to be his vest because it's a 3-piece suit. This is going to be his hand holding the book. And Robert's going to be here. I like the idea of maybe here will be Elizabeth's face. Because that makes a little more sense of Robert here. So there we go. Robert's pulling the book out. It's just a rough, and that's important to have. And we're going to have some hair. And I like the idea of let's have a little semblance of light. Maybe we have like a room corner. Kind of more blank. Okay. So we got that. And now we have the Inferno. Inferno can move down. This thumbnail is really important for me to look at. So this thumbnail, he is handing the book off to her. So let's move her nightgown down a little bit. I want to move that thumbnail down a little bit too so I can see it. Just need that little bit of thumbnail. Okay. Now we're going to save and we'll get a little bit further on this. Okay. So now we're going to have Robert here. I like the idea of Robert here. He's going to be sort of handing her the book. Maybe he's leaning a little bit. And Elizabeth is going to be now sort of leaning forward a little bit to look at this book. And Flush will be, where can Flush be at this point? She's going to be a little bit closer now. Yeah, so he must have moved now to the side of the bed. So Flush will be right here. Okay, I think that's going to work. And then we're going to have our Victorian bed thing that kind of goes all the way to over there. Cool. Okay, let's see if this works. So we're going to have Robert. Robert's going to be kind of just smiling. And we're going to have this, and my son's asking a quick question. So while he asks this question, I'm going to play for you guys a quick book review by Philip Runciman. Here it
Hi,
is.
my name's Chris and I like comics. I want to talk about this comic for a second here. I just got this in. I ordered it direct from my local comic shop through Diamond Distributing. It's Joshua Kemble's Jacob's Apartment. I really enjoyed this book. There's all kinds of comics out there, let's be honest. There's fun comics, there's superhero comics, there's young adult comics, there's adventure comics for kids. There's so many different things on the planet. But there's also an entire subgenre of alternative books. Real life, real world depictions in comic book form. Situations that happen to each and every one of us. And this is a fine example of that. If you get a chance, order this book from your local comic shop. You won't be disappointed. I can't sing its praises high enough. Okay? Check it out. Jacob's Apartment by Joshua Kemble.
All right, so we are drawing now. I don't like that arm. Now that arm is like suddenly broken. That's not good. So there we go. And we're going to have this arm on his side. This is going to be him handing it over to her. And here we're going to have Flush. Who's going to be sleeping. Kind of curled up on the bed. So there's Flush, and then we're going to have her holding the book. And here she's holding the book. And we have and Elizabeth's going to have her hair, kind of her hair. Here, it's going to have her other hand. And she is going to say, I haven't the faintest idea. I haven't the faintest idea. Period. There we go. And okay, so then we're going to have this sort of establishing the line, but we don't want it to be creating a tangent, so that'll be where it is. And we'll add just a little bit of shadow just to kind of establish a light source and more fully form these characters. She has that lighting that's going to be from the side. Okay, we're getting there. I haven't the faintest idea. So now I'm going to put my bed over here. Go ahead and put the nightgown up there. And the Inferno, even though we're going to be drawing it, where is the Inferno? The Inferno is right here. I'm going to call this Inferno. Okay. So this is going to be, let's get that thumbnail up. Thumbnail is going to be, okay, so she's going to be looking at, okay, this is going to say Dante. Oh. Ha. Ha. This will be another close-up of her face, but this time we're looking at the book. Going to be looking at a much closer image of the book. And this will be saying Inferno Dante's. And it'll have kind of that little thing it's got going on there. Where it'll have Gustave Ore. I think I need this to be a little bit more clearly. Okay. Okay. Now let's have some shadow. You guys, we are almost done with this thumbnail. This is insane. Well, this rough. Okay. So now the last bit, which is going to just be move the thumbnail somewhere that I can see it up there, and then we'll go ahead and rough it out. So this one's going to be of Elizabeth. She's going to be kind of sitting here. And we're looking at the book. Here. Her long, crazy hair. Okay, she's going to be looking at the book. Now we're starting to get like loose like I needed to initially. Dog's going to be here. Head kind of perked up. And we're going to have Robert hopping on the bed right next to her. So right there, this is elbow. Okay. Woohoo! We're getting there. So here, I think I want to do Elizabeth first. We're going to have her she finds this whole thing kind of hilarious. Because they're saying basically like that the person who crowned her gave her the flower wreath. They're basically saying she's demonic. So here we've got this, which is going to be okay. Now we're going to have her with her nightgown, which I can look at a little bit. Her arms. Her arms will be holding the book. There we go. And we'll just have to do that book. There we go. Got some nice action there. And we've got her dog who's going to be maybe looking at him. Kind of golden or cocker spaniel. I think I accidentally said golden retriever before. So that dog is just going to be chilling there. This is just a rough, if remember. And then we're going to have Robert here. Beard. And we're going to just go ahead and his arm's going to be here. No idea what I was doing originally there. Is that rough? Actually, I kind of do. Robert's hand. And he is going to be sort of leaning in there. I did not mean to cut off his feet, but it does work best. The composition. Okay, so now we got the bed kind of laid out. Go ahead and make this the pillows. I'm going to go ahead and make this part of the blanket. Go ahead and take a look at our original thing here. Should be something like that. Something like that. Okay. Oh my gosh. So Elizabeth, again, getting that side lighting. be here. The dog. Robert. You know what? I think that'll do it. So I think that'll do it for this stream. We've basically roughed out an entire page. Let me turn off the thumbnail. Yeah, so we have our page roughed out for page 51. I'll probably be streaming again the next time I rough out a page. Oh, there was one other thing I want to add real quick. Oh, if I can. Which is going to be problematic because it's still saving. But I like the idea of adding just a little bit here. Okay, now I'm going to save it, and we'll call it a night on the thumbnail and the rough. So we roughed out page 51. I might be streaming again in a little bit for page 52, depending on how time permits. But that'll do it. Thanks to everybody who's shown up and checked out the live stream. And if you guys are wanting to watch something, I recommend go to Gary Hodges' channel and watch the top 5. The top 5 movie villains. It should be a good one. All right, guys, have a good night. Bye.